If you were to ask me where the world's most extraordinary cliffside village is, I'd probably say Setenil. There are places that sound exaggerated when you first hear about them. Places that almost don't feel real when someone describes them to you. But once you arrive, once you stand inside a house that is half natural rock and half built by humans, you realize this is something else entirely. This is not just unusual. This is something you don't see anywhere else in the world. We have many cave villages across the world. In Iran, in Turkey, in Greece, in Morocco, even in Portugal. But Setenil de las Bodegas is in a completely different category. It's not just about carving into rock. It's about building a life under it. A life shaped around something massive, ancient, and immovable. And that's what makes it so surreal. You really have to see it with your own eyes to understand how this kind of living is even possible. As you enter Setenil, the first thing you notice is the contrast. You see the familiar white houses of Andalusia. Clean, bright, and simple. But then, instead of roofs, there are cliffs. Huge, heavy rocks hanging above the streets. These rocks have been here for millions of years, and instead of removing them, people chose to live with them, to adapt. Simply put, Setenil is life carved into stone, and the rock itself is not just part of the structure, it's part of the identity of the village. So how did this place come to be? Its origins go back to Roman times, with stronger evidence from the Moorish period. But the form you see today is mostly shaped during the Middle Ages, especially during the Reconquista. The name Setenil comes from the Latin phrase septem nihil, which means 7 times nothing, a reference to the 7 times this place resisted Christian attacks. And Bodegas, that refers to wine storage, because these rocks naturally created the perfect cool environment for keeping wine over long periods of time. The architecture here is a direct dialogue between nature and human construction. To understand it better, I got permission from a local resident to step inside one of these homes. Half of it is built, walls, floors, furniture, and the other half is just raw rock. The back wall is literally the mountain itself. In some areas, even the ceiling is the same rock you see from outside. This natural structure keeps the space cool in summer and warm in winter. And what's most interesting is that this way of living hasn't changed for generations. People have been living like this for hundreds of years. The same idea continues in the restaurants. When you sit down, you're not just inside a cafe or a restaurant. You're sitting under a mountain. It feels like being inside a cave, but with modern comfort around you. And even when you sit outside, that massive rock is still there, right above your head. The whole atmosphere feels protected, like a natural shelter that shapes everything around it. Even the shops follow the same pattern, using the rock in every possible way. In some places, the ceiling gets so low that you actually have to bend down as you walk. It's a perfect dialogue between the mountain and the buildings. But there are 3 specific places you really need to see to fully understand Setenil. The first is Calle. a narrow street slightly sloped where the rock stretches from one side to the other. Here the houses don't just sit on the hill, they are completely embraced by it. The second is Calle Cuevas de la Sombra, the street of caves in the shadow, and the name is very accurate. The rock above acts like a giant canopy, covering the entire street. The first time you walk through it, you'll probably stop for a moment. Because this doesn't feel like a street anymore. It feels like a living cave. And finally, the highlight of Setenil, Calle Cuevas del Sol. The street of caves in the sun. This is where everything comes together. A massive rock extends above the street, almost reaching toward the river. And along this path you'll find cafés and restaurants, making it the perfect place to pause. If you really want to understand Setenil, do something very simple. Sit down at a cafe, put your coffee on the table, look up, and realize that what you see above you is not a roof, it's a mountain. Andalusia has so many places to explore, and reaching Setenil is not always easy. But if you ever find yourself in this region, this is a place you should not miss, because you don't just leave with photos, you leave with a feeling that you've seen one of the most unusual ways humans have ever chosen to live.